Jaquan tested negative for gunshot residue. Megan was never tested for gunshot residue. Tory and Kelsey got gunshot residue on them. You cannot convict that motherfucking man for that crime.
That's Mila Graham. She's been covering the Tory Lanez trial in LA. Very thorough with her reporting, all the details on what's been going on, as well as lawyer for workers. He's been on the trial as well. He's a New York City lawyer. In that clip, she was saying that the driver that night, who was on duty for Tory Lanez, driving him as well as Meg the Stallion and her best friend. You know, this whole trial is exhausting but necessary. I mean, we have a man facing 20 to 22 years for something he said he didn't do. So I believe it's important to get it right. Is he guilty or not guilty? We'll have to see how it goes. But first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. Not gonna waste any time, let's jump into it.
After lunch, Kelsey got back on the stand. The defense attorney began his cross-examination. There was something called redirect examination by the prosecutor. Let me tell you exactly what happened. The defense attorney began by trying to introduce some sort of Rock Nation angle. I'm not sure where he was going with it. He asked Kelsey, isn't it true that weeks before this incident, Rock Nation was trying to sign Tory and the two of them had a falling out? Kelsey said she didn't know what they are talking about. We will see if the defense has other evidence and how this angle plays into their theory. Turning to the rest of her testimony in the afternoon, Kelsey did confirm that Meg was, she used the word irritated. She was in her feelings over the fact that Tory was flirting with Kylie Jenner. Kelsey also confirmed that EJ was there. They could have left with EJ. They did not have to leave with Tory's drivers. She confirmed that they did leave once. Meg said, I don't remember leaving once and coming back. Kelsey said, yeah, that happened. We left once. Meg was mad in the car that we had left Tory with Kylie, and then we went back because Meg said, oh, I need my slipper. We don't know if there was really a missing slipper. You can put that together yourself. She also confirmed that Meg did get out and sit at a bus stop in her bikini, and she was just sitting there, and it was Tory who went out there and coaxed her to come back in. Meg denied that. She said, I don't recall that happening. Well, how do you not remember that? And yet you remember exactly who shot you. Okay, there was more. There was the confirmation that, yeah, we did get into an argument over men. That, yeah, Tory did say that he was hooking up with Meg, and that was the first time I heard that.
It's just crazy how the whole argument started over Megan being jealous of Tory flirting with Kylie Jenner. First off, Tory wasn't her boyfriend, and you have a woman getting jealous over who a single man is talking to. The same woman who hooked him up with her friend Kelsey months before that, admitting that she had relations with Tory several times. So now they're at Kylie's house. Megan was acting like a hood rat. Kylie wanted her out of her house. EJ, who brought Kelsey and Megan over there, told them it's time to go. He was trying to smooth things over because he had Meg and Kelsey both wasted at the time. He didn't want any problems over at Kylie's house. EJ packed up her bags and put them in his car. Then you had Megan change up the plans. She wanted to leave in Tory's car instead. They moved all the bags to Tory's car. Tory really didn't want to ride with them at all. He wanted to stay back at Kylie's house for whatever reason. So Tory told his driver to take Megan and Kelsey home. The driver started taking them home. That's when Megan made up a lie to go back to Kylie's house, saying that she left a slipper. Megan went back into Kylie's house. There was an argument inside there and Kylie kicked her out of the house. Megan was successfully able to get Tory to leave Kylie's house and come with her. Then Megan continued arguing in the car, being disrespectful and throwing shade at Tory. And then that's when Tory was getting back with her. Kelsey jumped in the argument. And here's what Tory was apologetic about. He said, Kelsey, I don't know why you're fussing with me over her when she's always sleeping with the men that you slept with first. Tory then told Kelsey that Megan also had relations with him. And at that time, Kelsey, the best friend, she had no clue. So Megan, she lied to Gail, but admitted on the stands in court that she did sleep with Tory. But she told the court that Kelsey did not sleep with Tory and that she just had a crush on him. Then Kelsey got on the stand and said that's not true. She admitted to sleeping with Tory several times, and Megan knew that she was sleeping with him. Megan started insulting Tory about his music to deflect. She wanted to take attention off herself because, at that time, Kelsey is angry. She's like, you're supposed to be my best friend, But every man I talk to, you keep going behind my back trying to get with them. And there's a witness, somebody who lived in the neighborhood where the incident happened. The witness claims that he saw Megan and Kelsey fighting. So I'm just wondering, why won't they call up that witness?
Prosecution is expected to put on witnesses. They're going to play a whole tape of Kelsey's recorded interview with the police. I'm not sure how significant that's going to be. Here are the witnesses who I think will be significant. Now, I expect the prosecution to call the only sort of completely partial outside witness to this incident, and that is the resident of the home near where the gunshots went off. That individual said he heard things. He said he saw the muzzle go off when the woman was near the gun. He said he saw what appeared to be two women fighting. If the prosecution does not call this man as a witness and they leave it to the defense to call him, that tells me a lot, that the prosecution is not putting on the truth. They're just putting on an extremely one-sided version of the story. I expect them to call him. The other witness that's very interesting is the police officer, Detective Stogner, the lead investigator in this case. The prosecution is not calling him to testify because they're saying that he's on administrative leave. The defense is saying, wait a second, he's not on administrative leave. First you told me he's getting terminated. Now you're telling me he's on administrative leave. The defense is obviously building the case that this was a shoddy investigation, that we need to know about why this guy's not available, not testifying, why he was either fired or on administrative leave. Who is this guy and what did he do in this case?
That's another thing. The investigation was sloppy, but that's because the whole goal was just to put it all on Tory. There's a reason why the best friend wanted immunity. And then they don't want to talk about this fight at all when it has everything to do with the case.
Kelsey is done testifying. We're on a 15-minute break. This has to be quick. The key moment of her testimony, I think, has to come down to when the defense attorney elicited testimony from her suggesting that there was a physical altercation between her and Meg. Kelsey seemed very hesitant answering these questions, like she didn't want to say. However, she then said, hey, we both got out of the car. You will remember Meg testified that Meg got out of the car. She does not know where Kelsey was. Kelsey was on the passenger side, and that she turned around and she saw Tory shooting at her. Kelsey testified that this part she remembers. She and Meg both got out of the car, and that there was a physical altercation. Kelsey described it as a bump. The defense attorney was like, really? You guys are super drunk? You just got into a yelling match with her over the fact that she was hooking up with Tory without you knowing. You also mentioned to her that this wasn't the first time she betrayed you like that. She had done it with one other guy. Interestingly, the defense had said it was Ben Simmons and DaBaby. Kelsey said, I only named one name. She didn't confirm if it was Ben Simmons or DaBaby. And the defense attorney's like, so after all that, you guys both get out of the car, and all that happened between the two of you was a bump? I'll tell you, I don't think anybody in the room believes that the only thing that happened between Meg and Kelsey that night as far as a physical altercation is a bump, especially not when the rest of the testimony confirmed that other than discussing how she's going to be moving out of the Airbnb that she was staying at with Meg and she's going to be going somewhere else, other than a brief communication about her living arrangement, the two of them have not spoken. They have not called each other on the phone. They have not met in person.
Exactly. Something happened there, and the reason why Kelsey isn't talking about it is because she's trying to protect herself. Residue was found on Tory, but it was also found on Kelsey. This case is just so messy. There's no way they can find this man guilty beyond reasonable doubt. I just can't see it. And then they never investigated Kelsey because the whole time they wanted Tory. Well, now it's nothing you can do about Kelsey. They gave her a deal to testify.
I watched Kelsey Harris testify for 2 full days. I watched her struggle and hesitate and take abnormally long pauses when she did not want to answer questions. I watched her respond, oh, it was confusing, it was blurry, I don't know, I don't remember, when she didn't want to answer questions. I also saw her answer some questions in the morning session very confidently, very believably. But there was one question that she answered that when she gave the answer, I felt like I was seeing the real, authentic Kelsey Harris, a person I was having a conversation with at a coffee shop like a friend, not somebody testifying on the trial. The question was this. They asked her, did you hear someone yell, dance bitch? She said, now where did that come from? Those words that loom so large over this trial, the fact that the prosecution claims, Meg claims, that that Tory yelled, dance bitch, pointed a gun at her. Kelsey Harris said, now where did that come from? She didn't just say, no, I didn't hear it. She said, where did that come from? And she said it in a very authentic manner.
Compare people's commentary from the people that were there and then see what you think about it. What is your conclusion based on, all these different things that you've looked into, and rock like that? Y'all are too easily led, and it's pathetic. And I feel sorry for so many of y'all because it's people that got brothers, got cut. Nigga, this could be your fucking brother. It can never be no slam dunk case when Tory went the only one with gunshot residue on him. And we have to acknowledge the fact that Megan spoke to an argument with Kelsey about her sleeping with another nigga behind her back. You mean to tell me that it's a coincidence that a witness saw two bitches fighting after a bitch said that, or it came out that a bitch was fucking her? Or a bitch just so happened to get shot right after bitches was arguing about fucking they nigga? Oh wow, had to be Tory. Even though she got gunshot residue on her hands and need immunity. Oh wow, even though she wanted to admit to a fight but say they bumped each other. That's not a fucking slam dunk. Even with them playing it, when the defense is able to come up and say, you had gunshot residue on your hands, now that still puts a hole in that. Because at what point do you get in the mix for you to get the gunshot residue on you? Explain that. If there were always holes in Kelsey's story. Y'all the same ones that was rooting for Amber Heard, huh? That's you? Y'all finna sit up here and act like y'all don't remember that Kelsey went live and said they're making a damn lie and that she don't have her time to speak her truth. Oh, y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember that Kelsey did a diss track and said, do your label know who really shot you? Oh, we forgot about all that shit, right? The only person who has not been proven to be a liar is Daystar Peterson. The comment reads as follows. Tory the only one without parts of his story to be proven as lies. Megan and Kelsey have holes in their stories. These are facts. Tory, thank God, wasn't given the opportunity to speak. He was put under a gag order. He hasn't been able to say much. But when he did speak out, he said, it's crazy how you tried to twist it up. This really about me fucking the both of y'all. And what did Megan say in response to that? We ain't fell out behind you. You shot me. Just tell them people you shot me. And whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de. Now this ain't, when it has come out that that's exactly what happened. So what did he lie about? And we'll wait on that answer. Jaquan tested negative for gunshot residue. Megan was never tested for gunshot residue. Tory and Kelsey got gunshot residue on them. You cannot convict that motherfucking man for that crime.
It's been a lot of back and forth going on throughout this trial. Megan exposed for lying, Kelsey exposed for lying, and Megan's team thought that it would destroy Tory publicly with the gag order. She was allowed to go out in public and say whatever she wanted, go on Twitter and say what she wanted about the case, but Tory had to be quiet. And honestly, I think that him being quiet helped him. With what's been presented in the first week of the trial, I don't see how a jury could find him guilty. Twitter court and TikTok court is one thing, but the court of law is another. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. In your opinion, can the jury find Tory guilty beyond reasonable doubt? Shout out to Melvina and Judah's Line for all of your support. I appreciate you, as well as Barrington, Dark Power, John C, and Surshai. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.